Manda's Movie Club featuring Dan. Now, this is an absolute classic that I have shared with... Basically, I discovered this film as a 5 DVD box set that was on sale in JB Hi-Fi back in 2008. I just said to myself, I need to have this. I bought the 5 DVD box set, mostly because it had Van Damme on the cover, who is not the protagonist of this film. The film tells the story of Jason, featured here looking, very kind of surly on the right-hand side. And Jason is just an ordinary kid growing up in LA. His dad runs a dojo in LA. And unfortunately, they're driven out of Los Angeles and into Seattle because of an organized crime family that is taking over all the dojos and using them as fronts for their crime. And any sensei that does not want to play ball is sent out. So he moves to Seattle. He doesn't really click with the community there. Is beaten up by everyone and their dog, and of course has to call on the ghost of Bruce Lee in order to live up to the no retreat, no surrender mantra, and get his own back. Him and his family's own back. Now, I've shown this movie. I've probably seen this movie at least 10 times in my life, I think.
I would say I've seen at least 7. So those 3 times were just before I was on the scene.
Before you were even in the picture, yeah. So I'm incredibly passionate about this movie. I love it for its horrible horrible kind of karate acting. Obviously these people are wonderful at martial arts. This is definitely their first movie. Some of them emote very little, others emote way too much. It's one of those ones where, it's a don't yuck my yum type of movie. I love it. I'll always love it.
And I loathe that statement of yucking yum. So gross. I also will always love it. And I think now is the time to tell them that this movie is so important to us that when Dan says that we've watched it 7 times, and I actually would say that is a modest estimate, because we showed it to friends overseas. We used to live in Europe and also Asia. We definitely had showings with our friends over there where they were forced to watch it, and appreciate it, really, given the gift, I should say.
Forced to appreciate it.
And not only that, we also had a showing of it in Melbourne when we used to live in Melbourne at the NGV.
It was the NGV,
the National
yes.
Gallery. Yeah. There was an artist that had come through that had created kind of a couch-like environment, and people were welcomed to sign up to come in and show a movie that they wanted to share with people at the NGV. And I signed up to show No Retreat, No Surrender, and we watched it in the National Gallery with Dan's sister.
Only parental guidance is needed.
Whew.
So.
And then just today, we just did a little re-watching with our 4-year-old child who said that she loves it.
Yeah.
So...
maybe not the best parenting decision, but
but we recently showed her High School Musical 2, just trying to introduce some live action, and she definitely was not as interested in High School Musical 2 as what was going on in No Retreat, No Surrender. So I would say it's a movie worth watching.
And I think as well, Kurt McKinney is, if you have a look at that picture there, he's definitely like the precursor to Zac Efron.
Yes,
so I feel like he out-Efroned Efron.
He brings a lot of Efron energy, and I would say there's a lot of Efron style direction in this movie that is apparent in the High School Musical films. A lot of flamboyant movements and extra exaggerated dancing sequences. Anyway, so this movie's so important to us. It featured at our wedding. There we are, holding a No Retreat, No Surrender sign. And I think it was actually also in our vows. Was it not, Daniel?
At least 3 to 4 times.
Yes.
I believe.
So, I don't know. Some people in their vows, you go through all the traditional things that you're going to obey. You're not going to leave them in the lurch if things get bad, etc., etc. And just to really cement that, after every vow that we had said, or my vows and your vows, we did a no retreat.
No surrender.
Right? And look at us, still married. So I just throw that out there as a little extra. If you're looking to get married and have a relationship that lasts.
Kurt McKinney is your man.
No retreat, no surrender. Promise might be the way to go. In rewatching it today, it is a movie that moves fast. That was one of my key takeaways. There's a lot of films that take a lot of setup time. This movie is not wasting frames. It is into the action straight away. The movie opening sequence is in the karate dojo that Jason's father owns. And Jason's father, I think, can we just unpack him a little bit? Dan and I have drama degrees. And there's people in a drama degree that give everything, they give it their best shot, you know, they're there 100%. And his father's acting is there. He wants to emphasize every sentence.
Everything has a hand gesture.
His delivery is so ridiculous that I'm in awe. It's so enjoyable, right? It's so enjoyable. And he does it the whole film. There's no point where he thinks, maybe I'll move to realism. It's very exaggerated the whole way through. Love him. He's great.
It's a choice.
And it's very early on in that very first, end of that first scene, that the mob, mafia, organized crime, not really sure who they are, they're connected to Russians, turn up, threaten him. That's the first time we see Jean-Claude. I think it's also important to note, Dan, you said Jean-Claude is not the protagonist of this film, but just so audiences aren't confused by the poster, he's also not really the antagonist. No. Right?
This is... Okay, the primary antagonist...
He has two scenes in the whole film.
The primary antagonist of this film, for the most part, is Scott. I'm going to say the word fat.
They say that a lot, so it's in keeping of the film. It was the 80s.
A very nasty fat kid, played by probably a 5-year-old, I would imagine.
He could be in his 30s.
Could be, who basically spends the lion's share of the first half of the movie just picking on the Bruce Lee freak.
And his best friend. We'll go into his intro in a moment, I think. So... Don't go into watching this movie thinking it's a Jean-Claude film, because it's not. He has two scenes.
Yeah, one at the start, one at the end.
Let's go with some of the lines, though, that Jason's dad lets rip with, which I think are classics, which I have written down if Martha will not... Martha, just sit to the side. So, when the mafia first arrive, he says, "I'm sorry you came all this way for nothing."
Yeah.
Wow. You know,
powerful stuff.
What balls, right? Whole bunch of crime bosses turn up and you've got the cojones to say that.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
I think my favourite scene from him is when he doesn't have use of his arms. He's just had his leg broken. This is like the second scene of the movie. He's had his leg broken. He's sitting in hospital with his leg up, and he's just like, just got this like sad face throughout the whole thing, and it's all just the inner monologue they play in his head, and it's just like, oh no, who was that? It was Krasensky, the Russian. They've been taking all the dojos and using them as fronts for organized crime.
He knew.
I can't risk my family. Only thing I can do is leave. And then the next thing is them just packing up and leaving. And it's just like, for me, that scene, that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah. He has no other choice but to leave. So, he's also not the main character. Our main character is Jason, a spunky, young, Zac Efron-esque kid who loves Bruce Lee, loves karate, and immediately best friends RJ when they move to Seattle. RJ is my favourite character in the movie. He's just a kid that wants to support his new best friend. He loves breakdancing.
And rapping.
He's an awesome motivational speaker and...
personal trainer?
That'll do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He's that. He's everything. He's everything. And he does it all with a smile on his face. Yeah. RJ turns up with a boombox on a skateboard. And best friendship ensues. He does a little bit of rapping in the first 5 minutes we meet him. And he also does a bit of breakdancing, doesn't he? He falls from some shelves. Next thing you know, he's breakdancing.
Just going to bring up a quick image here of RJ.
This is when RJ first turns up.
With a basketball.
RJ.
Playing his own theme music on a boombox. Which at first you think it's just part of like the surrounding, and then he like comes in on his bike, and then he just presses stop on and the music stops.
We all need a little bit more RJ confidence in our lives.
We all do.
Is what I think. It's just great. The whole way through is fast. There's a lot going on.
There's a ghost of Bruce Lee.
That
endorses Diet Coke. Several times. There's several product placements.
Does seem to be a bit of product placement. And Scott, the neighborhood bully, I mean, it's not cool to be, fat phobic about him. And RJ and Jason do say some things that aren't cool. But also he hates them for no reason.
Yeah.
that you could really be sure about. He seems to have a really close group of friends. He seems to be well respected at the karate dojo. So his dad just wants him to do a little bit of cleaning of the windows, but otherwise seems like a loving and supporting father. Like, it's not that he's a bully that never got ahead or had any friends. I'm just trying to think, like, there's no justification for his nastiness.
And if it sounds like we're giving more attention to this character than Jean-Claude Van Damme, we're giving the same amount of attention that the movie gives this antagonist. It's crazy. But yeah, look, I adore this movie, and I will continue to show it to friends and family.
Yeah, and I too will do that. And I do not regret No Retreat, No Surrender being part of our vows. And here we are. How many? 9 years?
No regrets, no divorce.
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
That's as the result of us not retreating or surrendering.
Also, side note, there is an element in this movie where Jason does gift a girl he's interested in a real rabbit in a box. And I just would like to say that that's not okay. Can't gift other people live animals. Okay? Let's not do that.
Yeah.
It's not okay. The bunny is sitting on top of the box. That's how good it is. Nothing to shy away from.
Yeah.
And enjoyment. It's an enjoyment. It's so comfortable. Do it. Watch this movie.
My bunny is doing the same, except it's running around.
Wow, Dan.
In excitement.
Nobody told you.
It's also not stopping, not retreating,
wow.
Nor is it surrendering if you ask it to stop.
Should both bunnies have a little handshake?
They should.
A little handshake.
Cha.
Oh, little